Hey, so it is winter and I've had a nice break in weather. It was actually 65 degrees out today, and I've been mostly confined to bed, but I was able to get out some today, and that was very nice. I was quite frustrated with being primarily confined to bed over the last couple of days, uh, but I, in reflection, even at this point, and in the midst of a reaction, doing still better than I was quite, not too long ago. So the things are becoming a lot more manageable. But I really wanted to touch on triggers because there's so many type of triggers that can take place and create a lot of symptoms for me. So that's not just food related, but it's also environmental factors, stressors, things of that nature. So, one of those triggers for me is exertion or exercise. I have a I have very, very low blood pressure. I have a genetic um, condition in that regard, and it's like POTS related. I haven't had fainting spells in a bit, and that's very good. I did a lot of work over the summer and increased my sodium and was able to increase my activity level. I also started doing some particular things like increasing my magnesium dosage, along with adding things like maca powder into my smoothies. Maca powder is great because it releases boron, and that helps to make magnesium more bioavailable in the body. So, just learning little things like that and adding them to my daily regimen has definitely helped those symptoms improved. One thing I noticed during exercise is that if I elevate my hands or my arms above my head for an extended period of time, I begin to have difficulty. So the um, the triggers with exercise, also are the immense bone pain, and but that also is something that I've experienced since childhood. It actually, my pain and bone pain is actually one of the things that was a precursor to becoming immersed in the mental health um, community. I complained to my parents quite often when I was younger of being in a great amount of pain, and of course, my parents trying to do what they could, um, would had taken me to see a physician, and there was never really any big source that anyone could seem to find for the pain. And it didn't seem related to my first operation when I was 5 years old. That was related to a urinary tract malformation. So there really was no explanation of why I was complaining of being in such incredible pain all of the time. And, my parents were encouraged to take me to a therapist. And, from there, the spiral into the mental health community and being put onto psych meds was not terribly long after um, trying to get help for bone pain. But I do notice that, I have times where I'm free of extreme bone pain, and I've noticed that there are particular things that are triggers, and one of them is exertion, and it almost seems like an elevation in heart rate is, what does that. And I don't know if that somehow factors into the putting the arms, putting your arms over your head, etc. So I still have a lot of research to do related to POTS like syndromes, but I have made great success, I feel, in becoming more stable. There are also different forms of exercise that I can tolerate better than others, and I have, been able to increase my stamina and activity slowly throughout a long period of time. So for today, I'm just getting through as best I can right now to take care of myself through kind of triggering myself twice by um, eating something that was, way too high in histamine, and then exerting myself. Uh, but at the same time, I do believe that this is how I get stronger. And one of the best pain management medications that I've ever had are the sunshine and keeping my body in motion. Fluoroquinolones almost took that because in between, I guess, fluoroquinolones and the tendon issues and then food reactions, I, really at one point in time thought that I may really lose the ability to walk on my own. And for a period of time, I did. So I'm grateful, even though right now I'm confined in bed. I know that with a lot of self care and self love, things are going to be looking up. And it was a beautiful day in the midst of winter, 65 degrees. I got to go to the temple and do a little bit of praying. And but I've, I see a lot of people that have the same type of symptoms, and either, they're wanting, they're asking me about what my triggers are to help them, or what I find is people have identified things for themselves that are relevant to me in my recovery. So this is, we're all in this together. So yeah, exercise, it can be a trigger.